positions are available, so technically they're running against the open elections again. Each will give a speech and then questions can begin.
All right, my name's Sasha. I realize that right now I'm really only speaking to Jess, Allie, and her, so eye contact. And Rob. Do you get to vote?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Rob gets to vote too. I'm running again for 3L rep. I love being involved. I've been on Law Games Committee this year, as well as SLS. And I'm also part of the Obiter Video crew. Yay. We've done a lot of really important things this year with SLS. LSSO is coming up. We have a really great new application system for committees and clubs, which is going to be putting forward this semester when we do hiring for that. SLS has done a great job with yearbook. I've had the privilege with working on that with Blake, so make sure you guys buy your yearbooks. I've just really enjoyed the experience of representing the 2L class. Myself, Allie, and James have tried to be very active on our 2L Facebook group and voice your concerns. But yeah, if you guys have any questions after Kathryn and Drew are done, I'd definitely like to represent you guys again. Thanks.
I think one thing I want to mention is that Sasha kind of overlooked our online viewers. So,
oh yes, hi.
So I want to just start by explaining why I want to run for SLS. I think collegiality is kind of a term that gets thrown around a lot with respect to law school and law firms. But I think at Western Law, I think everyone can agree that it's actually true here. And I recognize that the SLS is the major driving factor behind that. And I would love to be a part of it. I have a lot of experience getting involved at Western, so I think I can really represent people's interests. I went to law games, played intramurals. I was on the O-Week committee and the wellness committee. And I worked with CLS and DRC, so I kind of know a lot of people in different areas, and I think I can represent those interests. In terms of accessibility, I spend almost every single lunch hour in chambers, so you can pretty much find me up there every day. I study in law. I don't avoid the law library. It's kind of the second place you'll find me, if not in chambers. And I'm incredibly prompt on answering emails. So I think in terms of kind of getting your ideas to me, I'll be available and accessible. That's it. If anyone has any questions, just let me know.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Drew. The rumors are true. I am 30. A lot of people come up asking if that's true or not. I'm just going to quickly go through like the two main points. Firstly, why I want to be on the SLS, and then secondly, why I think I'd be a good candidate for that. Firstly, as K-Ball was saying, the collegiality here at Western, not only do we have it, but I think that's something that defines Western differently from other law schools in Ontario or across Canada. Also, academically and on a personal level, when I was in 1L and even this year, everyone that's been on the SLS has helped me. I think it's important to keep that ball rolling, and it's a chance for me to give back and help other people the way I've been helped. So that's the main reason I want to. The reason I think I'd be a great candidate, prior to law school, I had various management roles in restaurants, hospitality. So, you know, as much as there's many different types of people in law, there also is in that kind of business. So I'm definitely open to talking about all kinds of issues with any kind of person about any kind of thing. And aside from before law school, I've been involved I was involved with the Law Ball Committee. I have a 1L now with WVLC that I'm mentoring. So I really think I'll do a great job. And 1L was challenging for me. 2L continues to be challenging. So, you know, to give back to the school as a whole is a great thing. And eventually, that specifically to my class is great. So, and thanks everyone for coming.
Good job. So as I'm now going to 3L rep, and I know it can be a lot of work, and I also do a lot of other stuff at the school, which I know most of you do as well. So I'm outlines and other stuff you'll be doing next year as well? So how do you plan on balancing your role as a 3L rep with those other commitments?
I guess I'll start. I actually don't know what else I'm doing next year. It's a little early. If I don't get picked for any committees, maybe nothing else. But I mean, I've had a lot of commitments on my plate this year, and I haven't really found it difficult to balance, especially after 1L, you have less of a course load. So in terms of commitments, I'm not really concerned about having too much time. I'm probably on wellness committee and might volunteer again with DRC, but otherwise I should.
I'm hoping to be on Law Games Committee in some capacity and represent the school that way. I definitely am interested in taking over a lot of the work, John, that you're doing right now with grad photos. I know that's been a lot of work for you. I also, working with Blake, I've really familiarized myself with the yearbook software, so that's something that I can definitely help Allie and the rest of the exec with next year. And I haven't really had that much of a problem balancing the workload with my other obligations this year, so I would anticipate the same next year.
John, I would just say, during March, I think I've got to have a proven track record. I think I can do it again next year. I was involved in Obiter, Law Ball, just signed up for like the Red Shoe Society in London. Those kind of all happened in 2 weeks. I was able to be organized and get through that, which has probably been the busiest time this year. Plan to be on Law Ball and Obiter next year, hopefully. You know, and I just think it's a matter of being organized. More organized than not being in the SLS, but yeah, I think I've done it before. I can do it again.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So this year's crop of 3L reps all did a great job. So I want you to say which current 3L rep you most admire, whose job you most like to emulate. It doesn't have to be John, just because you don't want to lose. The other Charlotte or Randy or Thober. You don't answer that. That's a question.
I can start. I'm just going to say Jono, not because he's in this room, but I had the pleasure working with him in 1L, in WBLC. And when I said people in the SLS have helped me on a personal and academic level, you know, Jono's even reached out to me and said, you know, how are things going? How's this? How's that? You know, without me even kind of telling him what's going on. So, you know, that active portion, I think, says a lot about who's in the SLS now. And, you know, it helps people. Everyone in here needs help. Everyone has their own problems. So.
I don't think I could select one person. I think with the current 3L reps, you have such a large range of personalities and strengths. And I think that's what makes you guys excel, is that you each bring something different to the table. And I think that we can, the three of us, also have a diversity of strengths. And hopefully we can come together and be as effective as the previous 3L reps.
I also think that each of the three brings something different. John was one of the first people I met coming to law school. He was great. Helped me, introduced me to a bunch of people. Randy, who's my roommate, helped me in a lot of personal stuff, like just getting involved, telling me to apply to law games, telling me to go to football, the homecoming football game, a lot of things like that. And Charlotte, who I just recently met this year, was fantastic, and I really enjoyed working with her. So I think they each bring something different.
I got one. Sorry. 3L can be a year when a number of people check out, especially after articling might be secured, especially in second semester. When important programming things would come up that wouldn't affect the 3L class, but the experience of the 3L class would definitely help the future students coming to Western Law. How can you engage our class to share their experiences and opinions about those type of things?
Can you give like an example?
Well, for example, like there's a couple town halls coming up this week about changing the curriculum. 3Ls, our 3L class next year might not care about that as much, but they have relevant experiences to share about whether that would be a good or bad idea. Knowing that the class might get a little bit checked out, how can you engage them to share those type of thoughts?
I mean, I guess people check out, but I think people check out more on their own personal academics where the grades matter less. I think people are fairly committed to Western Law, and I don't think get trying to get them involved in that kind of stuff will be as difficult as making them, you know, go to class, do their reading, study, that kind of thing. So, I mean, I don't know because I don't have experience with it, but I wouldn't anticipate it would be that much of an issue for that.
I think it goes back to the collegiality of our school. I mean, this year everyone has been really involved, and I think with the changes of the administrative law class coming in, whether or not to make that mandatory, the 2Ls and 3Ls have really valid input, and we do still care. I think the 3Ls this year still care about what happens to the school, and I think that's something that just comes with coming to Western Law and how, from the very beginning, how we introduce everyone at O Week and just help each other out with the summaries and mentoring, and I think that's just something that we develop in the environment here.
I would definitely agree with the ladies, but you know, I think we still obviously have to keep encouraging people. I know when we were in 1L, we had issues with foundations and the exam, the profs, and the marking, just everything about it. And you know, when the 3Ls at the time were there for us, so I think it's important we keep that going. And again, one of the reasons I want to represent SLS is so we can keep that going and be a face even though we're on the way out. So.
Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you very much.